I never thought I'd break because of love. But today, I sit in an empty house, surrounded by the echoes of a life that feels like it was only ever a dream. I look at the baby pictures of my son, his first smile, his first steps, and wonder if the love I had for her, the love I thought was real, was ever really enough. Was it ever genuine? Or was I just another chapter in her journey to escape? We met in 2020 on an international dating app. She was from South Asia. I was a 33-year-old man from Chicago. Her name was Alia. There was something magnetic about her. Her eyes were full of fire, her laugh contagious. Every message, every phone call felt like an invitation into a world I had only dreamed of. She was everything I thought I wanted: kind, strong, passionate, funny, and utterly captivating. We started texting, then calling, then video chatting. And before I knew it, I had fallen for her. It was difficult at first. She lived in a different country, on the other side of the world. The time zone difference made it hard to sync up our schedules, but we made it work. Hours spent talking through the night, about everything and nothing. We shared our dreams, our fears, our pasts. We joked about everything under the sun. She would laugh at my terrible jokes, and I'd get lost in her voice. After 6 months of long distance, I finally decided to fly out and meet her in person. I'll never forget the feeling when I saw her at the airport for the first time. She was even more beautiful than I had imagined, and when she hugged me, I felt like I was home. Her family was warm and welcoming. They didn't speak much English, and I could see how hard they were trying to make me feel comfortable. Her father, though, was a bit distant. He didn't quite trust me, or maybe it was just the cultural divide. But Alia held my hand through it all, and she reassured me that everything would be okay. In 2021, she moved to the U.S. We got married, first at a courthouse for the paperwork, and then with a traditional ceremony. I became her sponsor. She joked, "Now you're officially responsible for me." I laughed, but there was something deeper in that statement. She had put all her trust in me, in this marriage. I was her safety net. I was the person who was supposed to make her feel secure in this foreign land. We moved into a house in the suburbs, a place that felt like the start of our future. I helped her adjust to life in the U.S., teaching her how to drive, taking her to explore the city, introducing her to my friends. She got a job with an online company and started taking English lessons to improve her skills. Everything seemed perfect. We traveled together to Florida, New York, Colorado. We went on spontaneous trips, stayed up late talking about our dreams, laughing until we cried. I was happier than I had ever been. At least that's what I thought. Then came the pregnancy test. It was a moment I'll never forget. I had always wanted children, and when Alia told me she was pregnant, I felt a rush of excitement. We were going to be parents. But her reaction was different. There was something in her eyes, a flicker of fear, of doubt. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Her pregnancy wasn't easy. The morning sickness lasted well into the second trimester, and she struggled with fatigue. But the real challenge came when it was time to give birth. It was traumatic. There were complications. I remember her face, pale and exhausted, as she was wheeled into surgery. The doctors worked quickly, and I could do nothing but wait. When our son was finally born, I felt a flood of relief, mixed with an overwhelming sense of responsibility. He was here, our son, our future. But Alia, she wasn't the same. She was recovering from surgery, and I took time off work to help with the baby. I was exhausted, but I pushed through. The house was chaotic. I changed diapers, cooked meals, tried to keep up with the demands of a newborn. And yet, I still felt like I was failing her. She seemed distant. She didn't want to hold our son as much as I thought she would. She seemed withdrawn, preoccupied with something I couldn't quite understand. I tried to talk to her about it, but she pushed me away. It was when she went back to work 6 weeks later that I realized how deep the divide between us had become. I was still unemployed, trying to get back on my feet. She was working from home, juggling her job and being a mother, while I stayed home and tried to care for our son. But nothing was enough. I could feel the tension mounting, a slow burn of resentment and frustration building between us. I wanted to help, but I wasn't sure how. Then came the email from my father. It was cruel, vile, and full of lies about Alia and her family. He attacked her character, insulted her upbringing, and dragged my name through the mud. I knew about the email before she did. I didn't stop him. I didn't even warn her. I was so afraid of confronting my family, of dealing with the fallout, that I let her take the hit. And when she found out, she left. She needed space, time away from me and my family. I felt like I was losing her, but I didn't know how to fix it. I was so lost, so desperate, that I changed the locks on the door when she was gone. I didn't tell her. I didn't ask her to come back. I just made a decision, thinking it would somehow protect us. But all it did was push her further away. She came back, though. She begged me to stay. She said she loved me, that she wanted our son to have a family. She promised things would get better. And I believed her. I wanted to believe her. For our son's sake, for my own sake, I wanted to believe that we could rebuild. A few months later, we went to India for a family trip. It felt like a fresh start. The old worries seemed to fade. She smiled again, laughed, held my hand in public like we were a real couple. It felt like we were beginning to heal. But once we returned, everything fell apart. She got her green card, and I thought that was the end of our struggles. But it wasn't. She looked at me one day and said, "We're incompatible." She refused counseling, refused to try. She filed for divorce without warning, without discussion, and without looking back. I was blindsided. The woman I had fought for, the woman I had loved, was gone. I still don't know what happened. I don't know if she ever truly loved me, or if I was just part of her plan to get to America. Maybe I was naive, but I wanted to believe that the love we shared was enough to overcome anything. I wanted to believe that our son would keep us together, but I was wrong. Now, she's moved on. She picks up our son when it's her time with him. She looks happy, dating someone new. And I'm left here, alone, trying to figure out where I went wrong. I don't hate her. I don't even know if I'm angry anymore. I'm just tired. Tired of the heartbreak. Tired of the lies. Tired of feeling like I was never enough. I'll never know if it was love or if it was just a convenience for her. But I do know one thing. I'll never stop loving our son. I'll never stop being the father he deserves. And maybe, in the end, that's all that really matters.